Hey everyone, this is Alex USA Days, and we're continuing Playwright automation with TypeScript. So we're in Module 10, we're going to talk about Page Object Model. Page Object Model, or POM, is a pattern for keeping test code organized and reusable. Instead of writing all interactions inside your tests, you create one class per page. When creating POM framework, try to balance two principles. Dry, don't repeat yourself, avoid duplicating code. And the second one is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Favor simple, easy to understand solutions. Here are the main benefits of project using POM. It's easier to read, it keeps your test code clean and easy to understand. Reusability, you can reuse code for interacting with the same page across multiple tests. Maintainability, if something changes on the page, you only need to update it in one place. We're going to take a look into more details in the Playwright documentation just in a second. In Playwright and JavaScript series, I stored shared actions in a common action utils file. In this TypeScript series, we will follow a classic page object pattern. Shared methods live in a base page class, and every other page extends it. I'm publishing a Git repo that contains every file plus inline comments explaining why each piece is written in the way it is. We'll rebuild the same structure together in the video, starting from a fresh project for our POM example. The Playwright-POM-TS example project located here in the GitHub under Alex USA Days under Playwright-POM-TS. In that project, you will find three branches. One will be the branch number 1 with this basic page object model. The second branch will be modified with addition of fixtures to this project. And the third one will be base page object model plus fixtures plus GitHub actions. All right, so in this 3 modules, this one and 2 more upcoming, we're gonna render this project to completion, where it's going to be a good to start framework to work with POM immediately and also have it as part of CI/CD if you need to. All right, let's get into the code. Okay, so we're on the Playwright dev docs /POM. It's a page object models page, and it explains how to implement it. Talks about Playwright dev page, but for us it's going to be the base page where you have all the common operations. And then you can see that the page is being created with some methods in it. And then you can see this page is being imported to spec.ts file and being used throughout the test. Right, so our structure is going to be more completed. We will have multiple pages plus the base page plus a page that manages all of them together. Okay, so here's the GitHub. It's Alex USA Days /Playwright-POM-TS. And again, right now it has 2 branches, but it will have 2 more, and we will be in the lesson 00 baseline for this video. It has already everything done and completed. If you want, you can go ahead and download it, or just use that, or use the tag. Click on the tag, and you can download the whole thing on your machine. Was everything within that wrap tab and completed in the final stage of it. Now we're gonna go and create one throughout the video right now, and we will use the internetheroclub.com. We will go to the login page, and we will try to authenticate. We will have a login page. We will have a failed test case for login page. We will have a success test case on the next page where it says secure. So once it gets into the secure state. And we will also take a look at checkboxes page right here, where you can check different checkboxes, and we will have a couple cases checking and unchecking them. All right. So for this, we will need to create new project. So we can't use the one that we had. So go ahead and just open a new folder or create a new folder, and in this project, start a new repository or a new Playwright project. You can say npm init playwright at latest to get started. You can select TypeScript. That's going to be in test. We're going to add GitHub Actions workflow. Not now, but as we're going to move forward, we will. So for now, let's select false. Install Playwright browsers and everything. Yes, let's do that. And right now it's initializing the project, downloading browsers, getting started. So everything is downloaded. And here we have the package JSON, Playwright config. In the Playwright config, let's uncomment base URL. So the base URL we're going to be using for testing is going to be the herocoop.com. So this is going to be our base URL. So we're going to place it in the config. So application knows where we're going to go to start testing. And we have tests, and then there's an example file. We can delete that, and test examples folder also can delete that. All right, so from here, we want to create a folder called pages. And in this folder, let's start with the base page. So the base page will have all of the common actions. So new file, base page, and .ts. So base page, we're gonna say import base page stores Playwright page instance. This class is protected, so only extended classes can access it. So we will have other pages that will be going into the base page and grabbing methods. They will be allowed to do that because they're extending base page, or other pages that will extend base page, and they can go and use what we will place in here. But if you're gonna go into the test file is not going to be able to reach that page. Test file will be able to reach only pages that we will create for specific pages, not the common one, not the base page. All right, so here we have import page locator and expect from Playwright test, and let's say export. So we're exporting abstract class base page. And what we want to create a constructor here. So base page is an abstract class, so it cannot be instantiated directly. It is designed to be extended by other classes, and we're gonna create a constructor here. So the constructor will be protected, read-only page of type page, and it's gonna be empty. Okay, so this is our constructor. And let's start with our first. Method. We will do navigation. So navigation, I'm gonna navigate to a specific URL path. It's also a protected method, and it says go to URL. This is the name for our method here. It accepts pass as a string data type, right? And then it will wait, and it will use the Playwright goto method to go to provided link, right? To go to the provided path. Okay, so we have a navigation. The other thing we need to consider is adding a utility method that will accept both Playwright locators or CSS or XPath selectors or even text. So we want to have some sort of utility that will give us capability to do both. And let's do that. So we will call it utility. So we'll call it toLocator, so protected toLocator, and it's a selector that's either accepting string or locator of a type locator, and it will, if the string selector received, it will create a locator out of it. If it receives a locator, it will return it unchanged. So that's the idea behind this. Okay, so let's just type this one out, add it to your base page file, and now let's start creating and adding some more methods here, some more methods. Okay, so let's start with the regular click. So we will say, let's start with the regular click. We'll say protected async base page click. So we want to highlight that this is coming from the base page click, and from the base page file. And again, we're just kind of wrapping up the Playwright click function, and we use toLocator, so it accepts either CSS, XPath, or Playwright built-in locators here, and then it just clicks on whatever element we're providing here. Okay. The next one is going to be protected async base page fill, and this will allow you to put some text value inside a locator that you provide. So essentially, if you want to type some text in, you're going to use base page fill. So it wraps up, again, like a Playwright built-in function or method to fill in text, right? One thing that I'm doing right now, because I want to exactly match what I already have in repository, so I'm just gonna copy and paste parts of the code and go through them. But if that's too fast for you, just pause the video and then type things out and then continue once you typed it out on your screen. Okay. And the last one that we're gonna add here is I'm gonna format that. So protected async base page expect visible. So this is an assertion where we provide a locator and we expect this locator to be visible. So this is just some common methods that are going to be used across other pages. Now you can have more, you can add others. This is just for us as an example how you will get started with your base page, right? But whatever is being used by multiple pages, you can just store here and then use that in the pages that you're going to be creating. Okay, so next one, this page is done. Everything is good to go here. Next one, let's create a new page, and it's going to be login page. Login page.ts. So this base page will represent the login page of the herokuapp.com/login. So we're going to put some methods related to logging in and testing this page specifically. So first, we need to import the base page, the one that we created, and we want to report expect from the Playwright test. We're going to use that. And let's start with export class login page extends base page. So this page is using inline locators. Inline locators are defined directly in the methods, not as class properties. So you will see two different styles here. One will be with locators that are provided inline inside the methods. And the second one that we will create later, we will actually have locators be initialized with the class, so they're kind of sit outside for a different way to manage them, right? Okay, so export login class extends base page, and then let's go and navigate to the login URL. So it says go to URL. So go to URL is the base page method, and it will go to the path provided. So it will be our base URL, this one, plus /login. So essentially it's going to go to the login page here. I'm going to close out this so it doesn't error out. Close out the class. And let's add a login method here. So we'll say user, format this. So async user login, and it accepts username string and password string. And we're going to fill username and password fields using helper from the base page. So we're going to use base page fill function or method, this one right here, that will put in text into the selectors or locators that we provide. Now we will say for the username, we're going to get it by label. So inspect and inspect the username. So here's the username field, and there's a label username. So we're going to get it by label, and this is a Playwright locator. So we'll say base page fill this dot page get by label username, and then we provide the value that we're going to put in there here after the comma. So username. We're using a Playwright selector for this particular field. The next field is the password field, and we're providing ID password for this locator, and we're using CSS selector here. So expected, here's the password and ID password. So we're going to use CSS selector to provide data inside to fill that field with the password value. And then the last one will be base page click, and here we provide XPath to interact with the element. But we're still using all of the wrapped up methods that are located within the base page. So base page click and the base page fill, everything is coming from here. Okay. The next one will be an assertion that login failed, because if you fail to log in, there will be a displayed message on the page saying that you failed to log in. So we'll call this function async assert failed username. Doesn't accept any parameters here or method, and within parentheses we have await this base page expect visible, and we provide the locator inline. So flash is the locator ID flash, and we want it to be visible. We're using base page expect to be visible method. And then we do another assertion. So this one is coming directly from the Playwright. So in the page itself that you create, if you want, you can still use Playwright built-in method without a wrapper, not coming from the base page. So on line 22, you can see we're doing await expect this page locator flash to contain text. So we don't have it anywhere in our base page. We're just using it directly from the Playwright expect from here, right? To contain your username is invalid. All right, so login page is done. This is our method that we're gonna have for the login page. And next one, if you do get to sign in and you provide a valid password and username, you will get into the secure page. So let's create that. So new file, secure page.ts. And here we're going to import base page, and we're going to import expect from the Playwright, and we're going to say export. So this is class secure page that extends base page, right? And then inside, for this particular class, we're going to do assert success. So once you log in, you can see a message that you logged into the secure area. So we're going to have a method for this. It is using an inline locator. Again, we're not having it at the top of the page. It's still within the method. We store it in a banner variable using this page locator. ID flash. We use base page method to assert that it is visible, and then we use Playwright API to assert that it contains a certain text. So it contains you logged into a secure area. Okay. And the next thing that we're going to do is a logout function or a method. So we're going to say logout, and we will say await this page get by role link. Again, we're using built-in Playwright here without any wrapper. Then we click on the logout link, and then we will verify. Well, we wait for the URL to change to login URL instead of secure. Okay. So this is our secure page. It's also done. And next one is checkboxes. New file, checkboxes, page.ts. Now here we're going to import base page, and we're going to import locator from Playwright, and we're going to import expect. So this page is using reusable locators. They're not going to be in line, and it will require a constructor. So we start as we usually start. We will say export class checkboxes page, and it extends base page. And then we need to declare reusable locators for the checkboxes, or just declare usable locators. So whatever we're going to be using on this page. And we will be using first box and the second box and the form. So 3 locators. If we go to the checkboxes link, so here we are declaring this locator for the first checkbox. We declared the one for the second, and then for the whole form. Okay, so let's get back. So we have 3 locators declared. Now we need to actually initialize them. So first you want to create a constructor that is accepting page, and then you want to use a super constructor coming from the base page, so to make this page available, and then we initialize reusable locators. So we're gonna have this first box with checkbox 1, and then second box for checkbox 2, and for the locators we actually going to use page.locator form checkbox input nth0, and then for the second one we're going to use page.locator form checkbox input nth1, and also we're going to use this form page locator form checkbox. Okay, so 3 locators are initialized right now. And now let's navigate, add a method to navigate. Let's close the class first so it doesn't error out. Okay, so we're gonna add a first method to navigate to the checkboxes. Navigate to page and verify form is visible. So we go to the checkboxes. This page go to URL checkboxes, and we use base page expect visible, and we make sure that this form right here, this locator, is visible. Again, we declared it now at the top, then we initialized it in the constructor. Now we can use them throughout the whole page, and we don't have to provide it in line, right? We just need to say in the constructor, this is the one that we're using. So this form is coming from here, and that's what we're asserting to be visible. All right, so next one is going to be, I'm going to create a specific method to check the first checkbox. So it will use Playwright method checked to check the checkbox. So it uses await this dot first checkbox, again this locator right here, and we're checking it. The next one that we add is the uncheck. So we go and uncheck the first box to make sure the check is not placed. And let's do the same thing for the second box. So we're gonna get 2 more methods going in. One will be to check the second box, and one will be to uncheck the second box. Okay. And the last method that we're going to use is we will have an assertion. So we want to validate if we actually have an element in checked or unchecked state. So let's call it assert checkbox state. It accepts the Boolean, so either true or false value. 2 parameters, one is the first is checked and the other is second is checked. So we expect this first box to be checked either to be true, checked true or false, so whatever we pass into this method. And the same thing for the second one, we expect it to be either true or false. So based on what we provide here, the parameters, it will verify if it's true, if it's actually checked or unchecked. Okay. So yeah, this is our checkbox pages, and this one is ready. So now we have base page, we have login, secure, and checkboxes. So we have 3 pages that extend base page. The last thing that we want to do is to create a manager, so manage page, that will unite all 4 of those, or 3 of those, for the ease of access or ease of use. We're going to say manage page.ts, and inside the manage page, so we import the page from the Playwright. We import login page, we import secure page, and we import checkboxes page. And now we need to initialize them. So first, let's create the class. So say export default class manage page, and we need to add a constructor where the page, read-only page sits. And now let's do cache undefined until the first access. So all of the pages are cached in until the first access. And now we're going to have a lazy getter that will create the page object on first use and then reuse it. So instead of initializing them, all of them, and creating them, all of them, whenever you run the page, you only do that when the page has been accessed, and then you reuse it. So lazy getter, get login page of a login page type. If this dot login, if it doesn't exist, if it's false, then we will create new login page. Otherwise, just return this login from here, right? If it's already created. So this is the lazy getter, and this is the way to kind of save resources, so you don't have to initialize all the time, only when needed. And for the other pages, we're gonna use same lazy getter, but like a shorter version of the same code. So we'll say same lazy getter code, but in one line. Get secure page of the type secure page, and it returns the secure page, or if not, then creates new secure page. And the same thing for the checkboxes. And this is our manage page. So any page that you create, you add to the manage page, and then when you export manage page, any tests that you're going to run will use your manage page to reach out to all of the pages that you created. And let me demonstrate it and actually get to the test now. So let's create the new test. So new file, and let's create a login.spec.ts. So this is our first test. Everything in POM. And we need to import, so let's import test and expect from the Playwright. And let's import manage page from pages manage page. So this page that manages all other pages we're importing. Let's start with test describe block, and let's do login flow. Login flow, we're gonna delete all of that. And let's call manage page MP, so it's shorter. So we're creating MP that uses the manage page that we imported. This variable MP will be the way how we access our other pages that we created, methods. So we need to create variable MP that stores the manage page. And then before each test, create a new manage page and thus the new page objects. So before each, we'll have MP created, assigned with the new manage page created. Okay. So every time we run a new test, we have a new page object. All right, test, and the first test is going to be login with valid credentials. So test, and you will see how easy it is to read now. So test should log in with valid credentials, right? And it awaits for mp.login page. So through manage page, we access the login page, and then we're doing open login page method here. So it will go into the login page and run open login page, and it will go to the /login URL. So then we'll enter valid credentials and submit. So we provide user login, Tom Smith is the username, and super secret password is the password. And again, it is accessing login page and user login method here. So in the login page, here's the user login method that accepts username and password, right? Then we verify in the secure page, because once we logged in into the secure page, we will verify assert success. Okay, so let's run it. Let's do npx playwright test --UI. Let's run it and see how it works. So here's our flow. We go to the app.com login. Then in the username, we enter Tom Smith. Then in the password field, we enter password. We click login button. We get to the secure area, and then we verify you logged into the secure area. So all of the steps are here. Going to login page, entering the Tom Smith, entering the password, clicking on the button, expecting the element to be visible and contain specific text. This is already on the secure page. So you see, we had a lot of preparation for this, but now tests are very easy to write. And essentially, we're just reaching out to the method that we placed inside the pages, right? Method to log in, method to open login page, to enter user credentials, to assert success on the secure page. And let's add a test case where you actually fail. So test should show error for invalid credentials. So we use the same open login page to navigate to the page. We use the same user login method, but we say bad user, bad password. So we enter invalid credentials, and it will click the login button within this method for the user login, right here. And then as a result, it will get a failed message. So we say assert failed username should run here in this test, and assert failed username again is part of the login page, and this is this method, and it will go and grab the locator for the message being displayed, and then it will verify that the username was invalid message is there. So let's run it. So here it was added into the Playwright. Let's run. Here navigates to login, enters bad user, enters bad password, clicks on the button. So before action, after action, clicks, and then you see your username is invalid appeared here on the top, and we assert that it's actually there and the message is there. Yep, and that's it. We're done, and the test completes. Okay. So when you have big projects and you want everything organized, and there will be a lot of different things on each page that you need to go through and click and do different actions, you can place those actions within the page files and then keep on using them in your tests. And if something changes on the page, you don't have to go through all of your tests, changing those tests. You just go to the page file and change something that was updated on the page in the page file. All right. And the last, let's create a new test, new file. The last one will be checkboxes. .spec. And checkboxes, the main difference for the checkboxes here is that instead of inline locators, it uses reusable locators that we declare at the top here of the class, right? Inside the constructor, we initialize them, and right after the class created, we declare them. But again, same methods coming through, we're going to be using those. Nothing really that different here aside from the style, how we deal with the locators on that particular page. If you have a lot of locators, like 15, 20, maybe it's a good idea to have like its own file, import it, or have it within the page. If you have a few, then just you can use them inline just like this. Either way is fine. It's really about how you're gonna structure your page object model. Okay, so for the checkboxes, let's import test from the Playwright test, and let's import manage page from pages manage page, right? Because through manage page we access all other pages. So we're gonna start with a describe block that says checkboxes, checkboxes page and we're going to declare a variable to hold the manage page instance. So let mp manage page. And then we need to, before each test, we need to create a fresh instance of manage page to ensure each test starts with a clean state. So test.before each page mp is equal, so this variable is being initialized, assign new manage page created, right? First test is going to be, we will check the first box and then check the second. So the flow here is pretty easy. So we go to the checkboxes page, and we use open checkboxes page method to navigate there. Then we click the first check. We check the first checkbox, making sure that it is actually checked, and then we uncheck the second one, and then we will assert that the first one is checked, it is true, and the second one is not checked, and it is false. So let's give it a run. Go into the checkboxes here. Here is our test. Let's run it. Navigate into the checkboxes. Here we are. We expect to be visible form of the checkboxes. Let's confirm. Then we want to check the first. So here, before, after. So action happened, it been checked. Then we want to uncheck the second one. It is unchecked. And then we want to assert that the first one is actually checked and the second one is actually unchecked. And that's it. Test passes. And now let's create another one where we uncheck both of the checkboxes, right? So test, uncheck both checkboxes, await mp checkbox page, open checkboxes page, mp checkboxes, uncheck first checkbox, and then uncheck second checkbox, and then assert both the first one and the second are false. So both are unchecked. Take a look in the run here. Here's the test case, run it. Go to the checkboxes. It is, we assert the form is visible. We uncheck the first one. If it's already unchecked, just make sure it's unchecked. It doesn't click it, it just stays unchecked. Unchecks the second one, and then it verifies. Expected to be checked. Maybe not a good name. Expected to be checked. Maybe something like, yeah. We could add some like text wrapper. So here saying it's not expected to be checked, but it is expected to be in a certain state. So we could add some text explaining ourselves a little bit better. But I think from the name of the method itself, assert checkboxes state, it's quite clear. So it's either be its first check can be true or false. So the state could be true or false. It could be either checked or unchecked. So I think that's okay. Even though when you read through it, it's just, okay, does it actually verify that it needs to be checked? No, it's not. It's looking at either checked or unchecked. All right, I think this is it. So again, all this code is actually, so you can type it out for yourself. If you just want to kind of follow along, typing things out, and you should practice, typing it out. But also all of this code now, it's available in the GitHub, so Playwright-POM-TS under Alex USA Days, and use the branch, use branch less than 00 baseline. So this is just the pure page object model. There will be no fixtures here. No GitHub action. So just as you see it, what we created in the video is available here. So you can download it, and you can use this as your boilerplate code to essentially get started with a page object model with the Playwright using TypeScript. It has some reads here on some explanation on the protected class and how it can be used only by the pages that extend base page, but you can't really directly access base fill through a test file. Talks about encapsulation a little bit and why we use protected. And yeah, that was Alex USA Days. Hopefully this video is helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.